I need you to do if you want to change your life. You need your goals written down, and I challenge you to do it before you go to bed tonight. Now understand, it's not like they're cast in stone when you hit your head on the pillow tonight, but at least get a list going where you can be working on it. Mine changed. I accomplished some, I adjust some, but I've always got my goals. I try to read them morning and night to keep them fresh on my mind so I know what I'm trying to accomplish with my life. See, because how do you know if you're getting where you want to go if you don't even know where you're wanting to get? I mean, we've got to have a clue about what we're trying to accomplish in our lives to even know if we're on the right path. But so many people just let the wind blow them around. See, you can't be a wandering generality. You got to be a meaningful specific. We've got to know exactly what we're trying to accomplish with our lives, and then we can work on how to get there. Ladies and gentlemen, we can do it, but you got to write those dreams and goals down. You got to know where you're going. I challenge you before you go to bed tonight to write that stuff down. Put it on your phone, put it on the mirror in your bathroom, put it on the refrigerator, put it somewhere where you can see it all the time. What I recommend is read it in the morning to focus your mind for that day. Read it at night so your mind can be working on that, because your mind never really sleeps, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
If you'll read those right before you go to bed, your mind will be thinking about ways to accomplish that stuff, and you can accomplish that if you really want to. You got to have your dreams, ladies and gentlemen. Number two, you're going to have to grow as a person. The greatest piece of advice I ever got was, if you want more, you got to become more. If you want more, you've got to become more. See, you don't chase success, you attract success by the person you become. See, so many of us, we want to chase it, but we don't want to work on ourselves any. When I was in college, and I hate to say this because we get young people in the room, but I was on the Just Get Me Out of Here program. I mean, just get me out of here. I knew I had to have that degree to coach, so I wanted it, so I was going to stick it out, but don't overtax those brain cells, you know what I mean? Just get me out of here. Well, my whole philosophy on life has changed. I am now a lifelong learner. I want to learn. I try to learn. I read. I do stuff. I'm going to give you 4 keys that if you want to grow as a person, here's how you do it. 1, you need to read a little bit. I taught math, so I wouldn't have to read. Don't like to read. I'm not a very good reader if you really want to know the truth, but I'm telling you right now, just read 10 pages a day. Wouldn't we all agree that we could read 10 pages before we went to bed if we thought it was important? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be that big a deal. 15 minutes or so, just read you 10 pages, go to bed. Would that change your life?
Yes.
Well, probably not, just tonight. I mean, I guess it could. Maybe if you read the Bible or something profound, I guess it could. But, let's read 10 pages tonight. But before we go to bed tomorrow night, we read 10 pages. And then the next night, we just read 10 more pages. How about for 1 calendar year, we just simply read 10 pages each night or each morning or at lunch. Just get 10 pages read that day. I did teach math. 365 times 10 is 3,650, and you've read 15 to 20 good books. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, if you read 15 to 20 books before this time next year, you won't be the same person. Your mind will be different, because here's what we've got to understand. Your circumstances are because of your actions, and your actions are because of your thoughts. So if I want to change my circumstance, where I am in life, I've got to change my thoughts first, then my actions will change, then my circumstances will change. Ladies and gentlemen, read you 10 pages before you go to bed, and start doing that every night, and watch how your attitude changes about everything in life, because all of a sudden you'll be a different person. We got to read. Number 2, as you're driving around in that rolling university, put you a book on CD, put you an audio program into that CD player. And if you'll listen to something good like that, see, the average American drives 30 minutes a day, so in 5 years, that's 1,250 hours. Guys, 1,250 hours is the equivalent of a 4-year college education if you're putting good stuff in your mind instead of that crap that's on the radio. Instead of putting that negative news, and man, that's all news is. Do you understand that? I mean, you might get 2 paragraphs out of a whole paper that's positive. The rest of it's negative crap. We don't want to put that in our mind. See, we were talking, I forget who I was talking to about now. Greg, about negative stuff. My theory on negative people is this: if you're negative, my legs still work, I'm out of here. I mean, that's just how I work with negative people. I don't. So, but if we'll put that book on CD in there and be listening to that stuff as we're driving around, or if you're not driving, how about when you're vacuuming, or when you're working out, or when you're mowing, or when you're doing anything, put you a book on CD or a good audio program in something and start putting some good stuff in here. Now, let's think this through. Have I talked about anything tough yet?
No.
No, I said read 10 pages, and as you're driving around, listen to a book on CD. None of that's tough. My next 2 points aren't tough either. The third one. Instead of watching that time-wasting electronic income reducer that some people call a TV, instead of doing that, see, here's my theory on that. I got theories on all kinds of stuff. My theory on that time-wasting electronic income reducer is this. I don't want to be watching millionaires have fun. I want to be a millionaire myself and have fun.
Yeah.
And we're not going to be a millionaire ourselves if we're spending hours watching that TV. Do you realize the average American watches 6 hours of television a day? Ladies and gentlemen, please tell me that's not you. Please tell me that you've got higher aspirations than to sit around clicking that remote, watching a bunch of millionaires running around acting crazy, huh? Let's be the millionaires and let's have fun ourselves. Here's my recommendation instead of doing that. At night, before you go to bed, get your smartphone or your iPad or your computer, click on YouTube, and don't watch a cat get its tail cut off or something. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is let's pull up some Zig Ziglar, Stephen Covey, Les Brown, Joyce Myers. Let's pull up some of the personal growth giants of our day and watch 30 minutes of that right before we go to bed. And here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll do that, see, your mind takes in that last 30 minutes, and that's what your mind is going to be thinking about and dwelling on for the next 12, 6, 8 hours, however long you sleep. Your mind's going to be thinking about that last 30 minutes of the stuff you put in there. So instead of putting the negative crap, let's put some good stuff in there, some Zig Ziglar or Les Brown. I've been watching Les Brown lately, and you know what? It's crazy. I listen to Les for 30 minutes and I can't go to sleep. You know, I mean, I'm all pumped up because he's all fired up, you know. But I'm telling you, that's what we need to be doing instead of watching the electronic income reducer. So we need to read a little bit. We need to listen as we're driving around, and we need to watch a little bit before we go to bed. And my fourth and final point on growing as a person is this. Who do you run with? You know, I used to pull my basketball team together at the beginning of the season, and I'd look at them and I'd tell them how to act and dress and make good grades and show respect. I'd tell them all the stuff you'd think a coach would tell his team. But somewhere in that talk, I'd always look at them and I'd say, you show me who you run with, and I'm going to show you who you are or who you're going to be. I knew if I kept them with the right crowd, chances are they wouldn't get in trouble. Well, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think we're going to run out of here and get in trouble, but I'm going to make the same statement to me and you. You show me who you run with, and I'm going to show you who you are or who you're going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're running with winners, all of a sudden you'll figure out you can be a winner. Because, make no mistake about it, everybody look up here. Get this point, because this is the key point of the night. Do you realize, everybody listening to me right now, you've got greatness inside you. You have greatness inside you. Every person in this room has greatness inside them. But the sad part is I drive by cemeteries, I realize most of those people went to the grave with their greatness still in them because they wouldn't get out of their comfort zone. They were scared to make a phone call, or they were scared to talk to somebody, or they were scared to do anything. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to forget that being scared part and do it anyway. You know, courage in the absence of fear, it's being scared and doing it anyway. Do you understand that? We all get a little scared about stuff, but the people with courage, they go ahead and do it anyway. See, that's what we've got to understand. So I tell that team, well, I'm telling you, you show me who you run with, I'll show you who you are or who you're going to be. If you're running with winners, all of a sudden you'll get that attitude that you can do great and mighty things in your life. But the flip side of that's also true. If you're running with a bunch of negative, dull, disillusioned, frustrated crybabies, if you're running with a bunch of losers, it's next to impossible for you to be positive if you're running with a bunch of negative people. Ladies and gentlemen, pick your friends wisely. You've probably heard this. People will tell you, 5 people you spend most of your time with. If you average their income, there is a very high probability that your income will be very close to those 5. That used to be real scary for me. Because my friends didn't make much, and neither did I. But here's the scarier part. It doesn't just apply to the money in your life. It applies to your health. It applies to your personal growth. It applies to every area of your life. The people you spend your time with, they're going to influence you greatly. Probably the biggest point I'll tell you right now is if you'll start spending less time with the losers in your life and more time with the winners in your life, that'll be the biggest life changer you can have right there. But do this, guys. Let's read a little bit. Let's listen as we're driving around a little bit. Let's watch some YouTube of some personal growth giants instead of the television a little bit. And then let's start running with some winners and spend less time with the losers. And if you will do that, you will grow as a person. And all of a sudden, you will become more. And all of a sudden, you're going to be able to accomplish great and mighty things in your life. Because you can, ladies and gentlemen. We need to dream. We need to grow. And my final point of the evening is this. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to work. See, I think one of the great indictments on our great nation is that we got about half the population sitting around with their hand out wanting something for nothing. And there is a certain segment of the population that can't work. I understand that, and we should take care of them. But ladies and gentlemen, please tell me that you're setting the bar higher than an average $1,200 Social Security check. Please tell me that that's not what your dreams are on how you want to spend your golden years. Because I'll tell you right now, that ain't the golden years, that's the golden arches. Because you're eating McDonald's all the time. There's no way we can do that. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to decide what you want out of life, and you've got to set those goals, and you've got to start going to get it, because you can live an amazing life if you want to. But it's going to take you busting your butt to get there. Now, here's what we're going to do if you really want to do this, and Stream is the vehicle you decide to do it with, and I recommend highly that you do that. One, you need to make a list of everybody you've ever known in your entire life. Everybody. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you don't know who's going to be interested in Stream and who's not. Nobody has Stream stamped on their forehead. If they did, that'd be easy. Oh, there's one that says Stream on their forehead. I'll go get them. You don't have that. And here's a fact. The people that you think will, won't. The people that you think won't, will. So I learned you talk to all of them, huh? Let's get real. You just make a list of everybody you've ever known. Guys, here's the biggest thing you can do is when you call them up, just, hey, I got something I want to run by you. Let's have a cup of coffee. Hey, I got something I want to talk to you about. Let's have lunch tomorrow. Hey, I want to get your opinion on something. Can you swing by the house after work? Hey, you don't have to be fancy. Just say something, huh? Now, here's my training tip of the night, though. Don't take no for looking. Don't take no for looking. Now, distinguish what I'm talking about here. Once you've shown them, we ain't begging them in. We're not chasing them. We're not doing all that. I learned a long time ago, if I got to beg you to go get rich with me, you the wrong person. I ain't begging nobody. But how can you tell me no if you don't even know what I'm talking about? It takes me about, what Mike did that in maybe 10 minutes. Come on, 10 minutes. And let me dispel a rumor here. You know, Mike was real good on that. You notice that? You did a real good job. Give it up, Mike Anderson. He was real good on that. But do you realize he kind of screwed that script up a little bit? I think John Walsh is one of the best presenters we have in our whole company, just like Mike. But you know what? Last time I saw John, he screwed the script up a little bit. What's my point in that? Your prospect doesn't know what the frick you're supposed to be saying. So as you're doing the presentation, I get people all the time say, well, I haven't got that script memorized just yet. Don't memorize the thing. Show it. Just get out there. Look at the page and act like you know what you're talking about. If you screw up, they don't know what you're supposed to be saying, do they, Rosalie? I mean, just show the plan. You're going to set appointments, and you're not going to take no for an answer, and you're going to show the plan. You can play the video, or you know what I did for your Dino, is this right? I printed the pages off, put it in a little black notebook and page protectors, and carried my little notebook around with me. And I could sit down, and right now we got 10 pages or whatever. Go through those little 10 pages and just talk a little bit. At the end, say, let's get you going, or what name do you want that check in? And I mean, just be excited. I'm going to tell you right now, just like when we were scratching on the board, it had nothing to do with what I was scratching on that board. It had to do with I was excited. Get excited, and you don't have to be like a maniac, like an old coach like I am, but I'm telling you what, people that know you, they know when you're excited. Just get a little excited. And again, show the plan. They don't know if you screw it up or not. Just smile and keep going. Make your list. Set the appointment. Show the plan. You know, we do these great trainings in Stream University, and all that's good. You need to be there. You learn a whole lot from it. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you'll just show the plan, 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 show the plan. Get sick of showing the plan, but you keep showing the plan, showing the plan, showing the plan, showing the plan. If you'll do that, that's the secret to success. That's the silver bullet That's the potion that everybody's looking for. It's all about you getting your butt out there